Hello, welcome, welcome. So my name's Cherie and I work for RozyGlow. And on Thursday morning, Rosie and I were having a cup of coffee. I'd stayed at her house overnight and we'd had a glass of Prosecco after yoga, usual kind of setup. We were working on Friday. I'd bought my pyjamas and a hoodie. That was about it really, to be honest, other than a couple of bottles of Prosecco. And she said to me, so you're going to go live with me this morning and we're going to talk about grace because you're a Christian. I want your view. You're my left and right hand woman and that's what we're going to do. And I was like, no, we're not. I don't do video. And I found myself sitting there, dirty hair, no makeup, in my PJs, no bra on, just, hanging out with my best friend who I work with and manages me. And yeah, we did the RozyGlow thing. And we talked about grace. We talked about sin. We talked about my views as a Christian. And this was Friday morning, and we had an amazingly graceful day. It was great. I felt truly aligned with the divine, with my path, career-wise, everything. All the boxes were being ticked. Absolutely, all the boxes were being ticked. Obviously, there's trouble and strife in all aspects of life, and the way that we face that is interesting. But one of the things that we talked about was sin and the thing of being out of alignment when you're out of alignment with yourself. And I noticed that kind of sat with me throughout the day. And I was talking to some Christian people about that, about, what is sin? And I went to the Bible and I was like, okay, what is that? What is that? Anyway, later that day, I ended up having a bit of a falling out with someone who's very dear to me, a very dear friend, who's going through some really, really tough situations. And that passed. I hope that I helped them out. And the day went on. And then the evening went on and I had a couple of glasses of wine, which is my kind of thing, is to have a couple of glasses of wine, especially when I feel lonely. And I called that friend and I shouldn't have done. Because it wasn't right at that time to connect with that friend and put my woes onto them. And that has really stayed with me. They're okay. They don't mind. They were happy to help me out because that's friendship. But I felt that at that time, they weren't in a place where they needed to hear my woes because they are really going through a lot of stuff. And it left me with a really deep kind of toxicity. And I did my usual, I'm a Scorpio, and I did my usual beat up. I went into my usual kind of old pattern of that's a sin and that was bad and that was wrong. And then I really yesterday felt so out of alignment. And I was like, oh, it's because I did something wrong. And I was like, actually, no, it's because I'm not toxic. And it was okay to connect with that person in that way. And they were okay about it, and I was okay about it. And we've talked about it now, and we still are able to be friends. And I needed to find some alignment with what this was about and why I believe myself to be so toxic, and actually love that up, because that's the bit that's out of alignment, is that my toxicity is going to toxicitate everything. And what I've done with that over the course of the last couple of days is now think about, okay, well, what would it be like if I was aligned with the fact of my divine spark? I actually aligned with the fact of my divine spark. And I actually went, yeah, there are going to be times where I fuck up. But it's not because I'm a horrible, toxic, sinful person. There are going to be times I drink too much. There are going to be times that I connect with different people in different ways that maybe isn't the way that needs to be, or maybe is. But actually, what's it like to truly hold my heart and be with myself and say, do you know what, Cherie? You're all right. Do you know what, Cherie? You're gorgeous. Do you know what, Cherie? You are love, and you are loved, and you are held. What would that be like to actually say that and believe it? And that's where I'm at today. So today's prayer is written with that in mind. What sin is this I bear? What toxic trouble bothers my bubble? Is it real or truth or even mine? So many questions echo of old binds. When I connect in, I know this is not divine, not my path to truly align with. Now I remember. I'm tempted to step this way and that when in fact it's time to retract. Get closer to what is calling me really deep into Gaia and Source's retreat. Bathe in that bliss and its sphere of compassion. The one true heart of union. It's so close you can kiss. So hold yourself near. Respond with love to yourself, my dear. Do you hear? Love yourself, my dear. It's a mystical delight. More than physical, emotional, or earthly vows. It's of God's powerful, loving might. Love is, I am. Love is, I am. Love is, I am. I am love. I am. Cool. Happy Sunday, people. Mwah.